Greetings, everyone. My name is Tony Forman.
Welcome, everyone. Today is, when you see this, it drops on February the 5th. We want to welcome everyone back to the Tony Forman Show. Tony, have at it.
Hello, everyone. Once again, I want to welcome you into my world, the world of where if it's wrong, we won't talk about it. I'm known as the troublemaker in some certain circles, but that's not a bad thing. It's actually a welcoming thing. Some of us we have to stand up and speak out. Some of us have to tell people uh, what mostly is the truth. What am I talking about? Let's go directly to what's going on with these deportations, um, the massive amount of people that were slated to be deported within the first 100 days of this administration. It has people that came here to work, though they say that they came illegally. I think there's some question about that because when asylum, people seeking asylum is actually it's legal for you to seek asylum. They're trying to demonize these individuals because they say, well, they came over the border, they came illegally, but asylum, asking, being paroled, and I forgot the other one. They're all they need a certain degree of legality, but because of this government's agenda, if you watch the first press conference that was conducted, and if you looked across the room, it was mighty white. Yeah, it was mighty white. That's indicative of what this administration is all about. If you look at the administration itself, it's mighty white. But it's not just mighty white, very criminal. There's a whole lot of criminals in this administration. And we got to look at this with what's going on in our country. Our current president speaks of how Latinos and blacks got him elected. What does that mean? It means that with white America, he would have gotten a certain amount of votes, but the votes that carried him over are Latinos and blacks. And I'm saying Latino first because that's how he puts it. Okay? You have to ask yourself, so what are Latinos getting for that vote? I can tell you, they got deportation. How does an individual vote for a person that's going to go after their families? And you got to understand what I'm talking about. Look, I came as an immigrant here myself. And I'm a U.S. citizen, as I always say, but I wasn't born here. I'm a proud American. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a proud American and a proud Democrat. Long time Democrat. And I've been in the fight for a long time, and I still am. I don't know if I told you, and if I did, I'm going to reiterate it because I want you to be clear on the fact that I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I worked for Congressman for 10 long years, almost 10 years. And I was intimately involved in the process of democracy for a long time. As a matter of fact, I started as an immigration specialist. I worked with 26 Federal Plaza on many issues that were concerning to the congressional representatives when it came to immigration. There are no safeguards for migrants today as they were years ago. Though migrants are the ones that toil the soil on the farm, in the field, pick the grapes, they make your wine, they pick the apples, they make your apple juice, they make your apple pie. You understand? In those states, a lot of the farms, the workers left, they left. So expect prices at the farm markets and the supermarkets to go up a little high because if the production, or rather the growth of some of those, or picking of some of those fruits and vegetables are not done in a timely manner, a lot of those things are going to spoil. And then, look, this a demand that the American people have when it comes to productivity. And if those demands are not met with on the end of the products, then they gotta hike up the price of the product just to level off. And it's happening. You have governors that defy from fall. You see, it's not just criminals, it's all immigrants that come here don't commit crime. The statistics do not support that. And I know for a fact that when immigrants come here, they're looking for work right away. They'll do whatever. That's why some Americans will take a job at the car wash. But the immigrant would. Some Americans will take a job at the factories. But the immigrants would, and they do it because of need. Though Americans have needs now, don't get me wrong, but they won't do those jobs. Do the menial job. And in all fairness, those jobs don't pay that much money. And some people have big families, that's especially in the Black and Latino community, that's just a fact. You know, where Latinos will live 10 in one house, 14. They gotta pay, they've got to pay that rent. And before you know it, see, you're not gonna get Americans that are gonna be living like that, and they laugh at Latinos. But I tell you this, in 5 years, Latinos will have a house.
Exactly.
They would have a house and they'll move out little by little. And somebody else, the one Latino moves out, the next group of Latinos move in. But in 5 years, they'll have a house. So communal living. And what happens is that they'll all live together and the expenses are less for the living, for the, just to live in the same place. You don't have to pay the big mortgage. You share the food, the lodging, and they'll make that sacrifice because they are all coming to live the American dream. And some do. Those guys that you see driving around with the ladder on top of their truck, they're busting their chops and they'll work from 6, 7 to 12 and 1 o'clock at night. But in 5 years, they'll have a house. And you see, as Americans, you look at that and you look down upon, oh, there's a bunch of them living in the same house. Oh, they're taking our jobs. No, they're not taking your jobs. They are filling the jobs that the American people wouldn't fill, wouldn't do. So don't look at them with a crooked eye. No, you're wrong. You should be emulating them and work harder. I'm not saying that Americans don't work hard. Don't get me wrong, because that's a farce. That's a lie. That's one of the things that whites say that blacks are lazy. Yeah, right. We work harder than you anytime. We're not born with a silver spoon in our mouth. You know what I'm saying? We're not. We're not born with. I was just looking at something on television, and I think Trump's youngest son, he makes like, I forgot the amount, but it's an exorbitant amount that 5 families don't make in 1 year. And how do you compare with that? How do you compare with that? DEI. They're doing away with DEI. Why? To take away our competitiveness. They don't want us to compete, but that's the only way we can compete, because they're higher from within. And without that security, it would be hard for a lot of Americans, Black Americans, Latino Americans, to get a good job. And look, there's a lot of Black Americans that don't talk about DEI like, well, I got it. Yeah, that's you. That's you. Not all Black Americans, not all Latinos. It's just not a balance or competitive system that we have with by merit. Yeah, even if you have merit, you walk into an office and you're sitting there and you're Black and you had all these degrees and you're more than qualified. And in comes a young white boy, a young white girl. Now, who do you think gets the job? Let's be realistic. It won't be the Black guy and it won't be the Black girl. It just doesn't happen. So they came up with DEI, and that's being dismantled. It's being dismantled purposely, because the aim is to try to break us down. But I tell you one thing about Blacks and Latinos, it's called resiliency. I don't care what you throw at them. I don't care what you throw at them. They're going to move forward. You know, I remember when I was in college, I was working for the Summer Youth Employment Program, and they gave us these modules to read to the kids. And after I read them, I told my supervisor, I'm not doing that exercise with the kids. Why? Well, does he speak of anything that they could inspire to do? You know, back then, being a sanitation worker, just to pick that one, because there were others that was looked down upon. Oh, you're a garbage man. Today, it's not that way. But back then, I remember my teacher telling me I wanted to be a dentist, I wanted to be a pilot. And my teacher told me, no, Tony, you can't be that. What? And I'm a kid. Why? Because I'm gonna tell you something. Black kids, Latino kids, have as much aspiration as any other child because they're children. They come into the world with an open mind, and they're only corrupted when they sit at the table with their parents or when they go to school. Our school system is one of the most corrupting facility that any child can be a part of. And that's a fact. How are you going to tell a child that Columbus discovered America when there were people there already? And I'm speaking of all of this because that's what you call systemic. What do I mean? It's things that are passed down. If any of y'all know about the Willie Lynch letter, I call it the Willie Lynch syndrome, you'll know what I'm talking about. Because in that letter, a man that was imported from Jamaica to come and show the slave owners here in the South how to maintain their slaves. And I'm just going to name a few of them. You take the light-skinned nigger and you turn him against the dark-skinned nigger. You take the house nigger and you turn him against the field nigger. You take the uppity nigger. Oh, they didn't have uppity nigger back then. I'm sorry. But what you had was it built a system where they took when we were brought here from Africa, they took our religious beliefs and spread as Christianity. Christianity was a way to keep you subjugated to believing in the God of their understanding, not our understanding, because we didn't come here like that. I just talked about the conquistadors on Facebook, and there's a lot of people didn't know about the conquistadors. The conquistadors, they were murderers. They came through South America and North America and other places, and they just came through and they were called conquerors. They weren't conquerors, they were murderers. And they didn't look like me, not like this. And again, systemic. These people come in and they go there. And what's happening today, it's not too far removed from that. It's not. When you get a bunch of, and if you want to say that I'm talking racist stuff, you go ahead and think that. But if you don't know what reality is, you got something coming. It's what's happening today. Immigration has always been a part of the United States. There was a point in time when we didn't have to go through all the hoops and jumps and all that other stuff to come to the United States. It just wasn't like that. And today, to come to the United States is such a hassle. But when you go to the Caribbean, there's no hassle if you're white. You go to Africa, there's no hassle when you're white. You go to South America, there's no hassle when you're white. I'll tell you another one. You see pictures of Haiti, and they look so devastated, and they show you all these people in the street with torn pants and this and that. There's a part of Haiti that a lot of people don't know about. Look it up. Hey, everybody. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Thank you for being a part of my world. And we'll see you next week for the show.
Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying the Tony Forman Show. I also want to remind you that our anchor show, Coffee and Conduce with Jenny and I, drops every Wednesday. Right, Jen?
Yeah, it's one of the things. We got some new exciting shows coming to you this year with Cannis Media, and we want to definitely promote this. We got Tony Forman and another host, and exciting new looks at especially the Latinx Hispanic community. They're very relevant to that, just like coffee originally was. And tune in, check them out. It won't hurt, and see what you think. Give us some feedback.
All right. So continue to enjoy the Tony Forman Show, but also jump over and watch Jenny's show on Two Queers in a Truck, and also our show, Coffee and Panduse. Bye, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Bye, y'all. As always, thank y'all for listening, but most of all, it's Black History Month. It's February. And I really implore you to support the nonprofits and local businesses owned by Black entrepreneurs. Backbone of our economy, small business in America, especially local businesses, you should support. But especially this month, go seek out Black entrepreneurs, small business people, Black professionals, that sort of thing. And just, I don't know, make an extra effort. Instead of clicking on Amazon, just go by that local shop. Check out their websites and really be involved with your neighbors. If we don't take care of our neighbors can't take care of us. So, important reminder, love you all, and celebrate Black History Month with us here. Hey, let's celebrate Black History Month in February together. We're stronger together. Bye, y'all.
Happy Black History Month, y'all. Hey everyone, we want to thank you for watching the Tony Forman Show, the new Tony Forman Show. You can catch us on your favorite audio podcast or video podcast platform every Wednesday at 10 in the morning Eastern Time. That's when we drop. So once again, thank you for watching the new Tony Forman Show on your Cannis Media Network.
Where the resorts are at. It is beautiful, just like any resort area. And it's in Haiti. It's systemic. Look, Blacks and Latinos voted for Trump. Now, excuse my French, because I don't speak Italian, but you can't bitch when you don't do your part. Now you see Latinos, they took him. Somebody told me about a Latino man that called Trump. Well, did not call him, but made a plea to Trump that don't deport my wife. She's a good woman. She deserves to be here, and I voted for you. Yeah, you damn right you voted for him, you damn fool.
Exactly.
You voted against your own interests.
Yep.
So you're a damn fool, and whoever don't like it, you know how to get in touch with me. It's the truth. We are so gullible that we don't know when we're doing damage to ourselves. We still think that black is whack and white is right. We become so complacent, so assimilating. The women walk around with their long hair and got that much hair. And those that have a lot of hair, and I don't want to get beat up on this one, but I don't care. It's the truth. It's the truth. Because you want to be like that other person. No, be your soul. Be your soul, because black is beautiful. They now exist. The children with pride in their voices tell this. Now, to show the child of the fact that black is not beautiful, just because it is black, to be black is no more than the color of one's skin. Not a blessing, nor a sin. Do not drink of black beauty in intoxicating degree. You see, enveloped in blackness, only blackness will you see. Rather drink of the deeds from the past. Feel this stigma of the citizen second class. Now, who is there? Who restrained their rejoice, the one amongst you, born black by choice. Yes, black is beautiful. Beautiful to be known, beautiful to be read, beautiful to be living, because of the I just had to take a moment and recite that to you guys. So there's so many people, Latino, that are darker than me, put on the passport, they check the box and say that they're white. They're ashamed to say that they're black. Blacks are ashamed to say that they're black. They want to be like people of another persuasion. The problem is that you want to be something that you're not, and then the people that you're trying to be like don't like you. So why are you doing it? What is it? How is it that you're thinking? People of color are the only ones that allow other people to put them in categories. African American, Afro Latino, Caribbean American, Caribbean, but Caribbean in the sense mostly of being dark skinned. You have, if you're from Africa, you're African, and some Africans don't think that they're black. The concept of black came out of the Black Power movement. And some of these individuals that were part of the fight felt that they had to be something that put us all in one box as opposed to being all these different categories of black. No, if you have a color like mine, and I've been studying this for a long time, there are people that try to change it, but it's not. What's this doctor's name? A white doctor that talks about the whole concept of black and white and stuff like that. Her name is Tony. And she always talks about that the concept of white just came up. And what she means by that is that one time we were just human. Africans, they consider themselves as to being anything other than African. People at one time believed in being human. And when you get out of that, it's when you get what you have today. Superiority. People think that they're better than other people. People are obsessed with power. The concept of humanity went out the window. I come into any relationship with an open mind. I don't care who you are. I tell everybody that I love them. I even love Connell, my producer. I do. And the point that I'm making is we have to come back to some sort of reality, some truthfulness. Why are we falling for the nonsense that's going on today where people don't love people anymore? It's just a hard reality that we have to come to. Now we got 4 years that we've got to deal with this. And then there's a councilman, a representative that put up a bill to give Trump a third year. The Constitution does not allow that. But I guarantee you, them damn Republicans are going to be fighting for it. Because there's more time for them to do more of the damage that they're doing to America and the rest of the world. They figured that's a way for them to stay in power. Listen, nothing about what I'm talking about has to do with racism. It has to do with reality. It has to do with white supremacy. People that want to be in power and to hell with everybody else. No, the world is not made up like that. But unless we get together, the minority as they call it, but the census said that by 2030 to 2050, people of color will be the majority. We're not fighting like we're going to be the majority. We've got a little bit more census and realize what's really going on. All of you that voted for tyranny, you got to deal with it now, because some of you may not go through it, but your children will. Your children will suffer. Your grandchildren will suffer. Your great-great-grandchildren will suffer. And you know whose fault it was? You, the damn fool that voted for a tyrant. You understand? And if you don't think that way, guess what? The guy on Facebook told me that I don't care. I don't give a damn. I said, you serious? Okay. That's on you, but remember, there's other people that you have coming behind you to have case. But we just have to be more conscious of the things that we do, how we act, and how it affects others that are like us. You know, it ain't something that somebody made up, that we're the underdog, that we're in a situation that we are by no fault of our own. We have most of the inventions that at the time of slavery were created by us. You understand? You go to different countries. The Dominican Republic is the first place that Columbus brought the slaves to. The Tana Overture fought for the liberation of the Dominican Republic, de la Hispaniola, which is the Dominican Republic. He fought the French, Napoleon, 51. They liberated the whole island and liberated the Dominican Republic from Spain. You had Jamaica, with you had slavery there, and they got rid of the slavery right after that. Look at Puerto Rico. My wife is Puerto Rican. It is a beautiful island, just like the Dominican Republic, just like Haiti, just like Cuba. Go to Mexico. Mexico is a beautiful place, and it's finally rising up. It is rearing its head as a people, and they're even fighting against some of Trump's policies. These places are paradise. Why are people leaving there to come here to get treated like asshole countries? I didn't say that. Somebody else did it. And I bet most of y'all don't even know who said it. But I'm going to tell you something. If we don't get together and work as one in unison, it's just going to get worse. I always told Roland Martin. And Roland Martin, I was watching one of his programs this morning, and he was talking about, I watch a lot of people that talk about the truth, they talk about empowerment, they talk about helping the less fortunate. But he was talking about that in 1 year, now if you own a business, and if you do have contracts with the government, in 1 year, he did the numbers, and he says, any black company that was dealing with the government ain't gonna have it. We're gonna be falling by our bootstraps. I mean, to quote some people that I know. And what does that mean? That you've been working with the government You have contracts, and you're gonna lose these contracts. Remember the DEI, Target, BJ's, and all these other places. They've gotten rid of it. They got rid of it and enforcing it. Now he's saying that any state that goes against his executive orders, you ain't getting no money, federal money, because that's the only thing they can do. But how do you overcome that? The school system. He's talking about changing the whole school system. Now, I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. So we have, I'm not going to name names, but we have multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires. You have a gentleman that paid off, he's a multi-billionaire, paid off, I think it was Howard University or one of these HBCUs. He paid off all the debt for all the graduating class of that year they did it. Problem is that a lot of our billionaires don't know where to put the damn money at. They forgot the fight that our ancestors had. Do you know the HBCUs, with all the billionaires that we have, we still depend nothing that, and I'm trying to be careful here because, people turn stuff into something that isn't. But what is, HBCUs, the major donors, some of the major donors are Jewish. So they have to abide by some of the rules that they put in place. Okay? I'll give you an example. I have a friend that works at HBCU. And I post a lot of stuff that has to do with Farrakhan and Dr. Omar and several historians. I followed Dr. Ben Josh Hammond, Dr. Clark. And my friend was looking for a promotion, and he says to me, I've been there for a while. And he calls me one day and he says, Tony, listen, man, I'm sorry that I blocked you, and I'm sorry I haven't talked to you, man, but you didn't do anything to me as what you were communicating with me. I was going for a promotion, and one of the Jewish, board, I forgot what it's called, but it's the board, the top board. He came to me, he approached me and said, oh, so, you still go for that promotion? Yeah, I asked for it. I think I deserve it. He said, yeah, I see that you follow, you get a lot of stuff with Farrakhan and stuff. And, I was tagged by a friend of mine, but I didn't post it. Oh, because it looks like you follow Farrakhan and support Farrakhan. It was a message. It was a message that if you follow Farrakhan, or if that's what you're supporting, we're not going to support you for that promotion. Now, this is my point. With all the billionaires that we have, we can't support our own HBCUs? Are you serious? If you take that money and you put it in a nonprofit 501c3 organization just to support the HBCUs, you get your damn money back, you damn fool. Because it's tax exempt. You donate it to the organization, which is a 501c3, and the organization donates it to the HBCU. It's a no-brainer. We're not the only ones that are going to do it. I could tell you some other organizations that do it all the time. Then again, I got to be careful. Because when you speak the truth, people come for you. I'm not afraid of none of that. I'm from New York. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take a break now, and we'll be right back. Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, we want to thank you for watching the new Tony Forman Show on your favorite audio or video podcast platform. Every Wednesday at 10 in the morning Eastern Time, it will drop. So once again, thank everyone for watching the new Tony Forman Show, brought to you on your Cannis Media Network.
Hey everyone, we really hope that you're enjoying the Tony Forman Show, which is one of our additional shows for the 2025 upcoming season. It's part of our bigger family of shows that you've listened to over the years in the Cannis Media system. But most of all, hope you can check out Two Queers in a Truck. It's one of our longest running shows, and he is 6 seasons long. And we would love for you to come over, and we talk about real world stuff, a lot of LGBT stuff, obviously, if it's Two Queers in a Truck, and a lot of other things going on in pop culture. And we try to make most episodes funny. So we'll come over there and see if we actually are doing what we said we were going to do, which is being late breaking and timely. So again, enjoy 2025, and we appreciate you listening to the Tony Forman Show.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the Tony Forman Show. Tony, I have a couple of questions on what you've been talking about. I know you and I talked off camera, but you've been talking about this also throughout this show. You know, the data is showing that immigrants, especially specifically undocumented immigrants, pay upwards of $97 billion a year in taxes. 54 of that billion goes directly to the federal government, and the rest goes to state and local and county taxes. Why do you think that Trump is not, or not just Trump, but why do you think that the people who are against migrants and so forth, why don't you think they acknowledge the fact that they pay a lot in taxes?
Well, and that's an excellent question. I'm going to tell you something. Being in politics for a long time and working for a very wise man that played politics the old way, it's not about money for these people. It has nothing to do with money. They've got money. So that amount of money that you're talking about in Texas is a drop in the bucket just for Elon Musk. And when you look at all the oligarchs that are with him, it's not about the money. It's about losing that. And they don't want to lose that power. So it's not about the money.
Okay. 1 second. The last question is, what do you think? I know that we're seeing on the news, you know, Trump making a big deal, and especially his, about rounding up some of these undocumented people. And what do you think should happen to the employers that are encouraging these undocumented people to come here and work for them? Like a lot of them work in poultry plants in Iowa and Nebraska and tree farms here in North Carolina. Do you think they hold some responsibility for having these undocumented people come here? Or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, let's be real. Working on the farms, and I know that in Virginia, there's a lot of immigrants working in the poultry field industry. And even some of these other companies that have jobs, but it's not jobs that Americans are going to do.
Sure.
And we've got to be real and conscious about that. It's the products that keeps Americans living and just surviving. And some of those jobs that Americans have, and we have to be conscious about that. There's some of those jobs that Americans are just not going to do. Remember, we're Americans, so we're proud. and some of us are just not going to do it. I mean, have you ever been to a gas station and you see some of those young kids pumping gas and stuff like that? And I always admire those kids because what they're doing is they're not out robbing and stealing, and they're trying to get a dollar here and there. Because those sneakers are expensive, my brother. You could buy a house with 5 pairs of those sneakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the point that I'm making is that how does a company survive if it doesn't have immigrants? Immigrants are needed. And two, they don't invite them. Something that you said, I just want to get it clear so people won't get a misconception. They don't invite them because if there is something called the I-140,
Sure.
which is the employers, that's legal immigration.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that work the field, those are all the people that came here to cross the border. And you can go to Home Depot, you see them standing outside looking for work.
Sure.
They didn't go to rob and steal. And
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, I guess kind of the question is based upon the apathy within, let's say, for an example, like the Latino community or the Latinx Hispanic Latino community. It seems like there's a lot of apathy within our community that is third, fourth, fifth, sixth, higher generation, and the apathy seems to be it's like they're allowing Trump and the MAGA people to demonize people within their own community because they see it as they're the ones that came across the border. Now they have to pay, pay the piper, so to speak. Which the blame, if you have to, I don't think you should be placing any blame, but the blame should kind of go both ways. They would not be coming here if we did not need the jobs.
Right,
if we did not need, yeah. So it's not just their fault for coming over here. I don't think there's anybody's fault. But the reason they're coming here is because you have hotels that need housekeepers. You have poultry plants that Americans are not taking the jobs. You have, and these companies are they can't operate without workers. And so you almost have to say it's not really all their fault. Let's give them 50% of the blame, but let's also give America 50% of the blame because we need to create a better path to citizenship, a better work immigrant program or immigration reform, so to speak. We need to, even if Trump deports, he's not going to do it. All of the people he says he's going to do it. It's not going to stop immigration. We still need workers. It's so I don't understand why we don't just. I kind of have a feeling because it's more white supremacists and white nationalists getting their frustration out on black and brown people because they see them passing them by. They see them becoming more successful, happier, having podcast shows, being elected to offices, being mayors of big cities, and they don't see themselves anymore accomplishing those things. So they're mad and they want to blame somebody. They can't blame themselves, so they want to blame the immigrant.
Yeah. Yeah, but I tell you this, I leave you with this, Colin. It is such a technical situation. And you know how agency has services that are wraparound.
Sure.
Well, and I spoke about this earlier. When you have the United States, Germany, Russia, France, and all these other countries, and they go into South America, they go into Africa, because the Africans are running out of Africa too, though some of them Africans are taking back their land. When you look at that, and you got to look at, they're over there causing havoc, messing with the government and stuff like that. You force the government to fight against the people that don't want the government that, let's say, that, and I'm using the United States as an example, but it's not just the United States. And that in the United States is over there causing all these problems, and then people are being persecuted, the indigenous people from the land. Where do they go? And if the United States is the land of the free and the home of the brave, where else will you go when the United States is over there causing all these problems? So you go over there and you mess with their country, and when they want to come over here, and then when you want to go on vacation, you go to their country, but they're asshole countries. It's when you don't do global oh God, but studying about global problems.
Sure.
You know, some of us only know what happens here. Some people don't even leave the United States, Connor. So they don't know how the people live.
Some people don't even leave the state they live in.
Seriously, there are people that have a less on it, man.
Exactly. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, Tony, we've run out of time. Great show. Thank you so much. And this has been the Tony Forman Show, and we'll see you next week on the Tony Forman Show. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Coming, your family, it's time for me to go. I hope that you enjoyed this show. Thank you so much for being a follower, and we'll see you next week. Have a good day.